What is up, guys? Rick Hackus here, and I very recently made a video about how Faction Wars, a Faction Wars PvP event would work in Destiny. And if you want to see that video, I'm going to put an annotation on screen right now, but it just got me thinking about PvP and other things that could be done to increase the fun, increase the variety, and increase the quality of PvP in Destiny. So I started to think about burns. Burns are a great way to make players change it up. Like, if there is a void burn and your favorite gun in the world is a Fatebringer, you can't use a Fatebringer, you gotta use a void gun. Burns are a great way in PvE to make players really diversify their loadouts and stay on their toes. Different burns will have players acting totally differently depending on which guns they have that feature those chosen burns. You could really love close range play, but again, if it's a void burn and the only void weapon you have is a scout rifle, you're probably going to play it long distance and vice versa. So why doesn't Bungie utilize burns in PvP as well? We all know that the Crucible could definitely use some variety interjected into it. I mean, right now the kill feed is Hawkmoon, Thorn, Thorn, Hawkmoon, last word, Thorn, Hawkmoon, last word. I think we can actually get some variety here if we introduce burns into the Crucible. Now, I want to start off by saying I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that, wait a minute, is this guy stupid? If Arc Burn was in the Crucible, everyone would just be running around one-shotting each other with Fatebringers. That wouldn't be any fun. And you're right, because that's not exactly what I'm thinking. When I say burn, and when I say burn introduced into the Crucible, I don't mean it in a sense that it's exactly the same as its PvE counterpart. A PvP burn, instead of drastically increasing the damage of the guns of the chosen burn, it would in fact just decrease the guns that do not have the chosen burn. For example, if you have a solar burn in a PvP event, so you start off the match and it says solar burn, solar weapons will do 100% damage. They will do their normal damage. Your Vision or Confluence will be doing what it's always done in the Crucible. But your Thorn, your Hawkmoon, those are all going to be doing 50% less damage. They're going to be doing half damage. Now, why exactly do I want burns introduced into the Crucible? Well, if they were introduced like I described, let's say there was a playlist, let's say the next Iron Banner featured the chance that at the beginning of the round it would come up with a random burn. It could be Void, Arc, Solar, or even no burn. So you load into your Iron Banner match and it would pop up ding 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 Void Burn. At that point, you could be the best Hawkmoon user in the world. You're not using Hawkmoon, you're putting on one of your Void weapons. Players that have spent their entire Crucible careers in the back of the map with a scout rifle could be forced into close range combat if the only Void gun they have is the Atheon's Epilogue. Nut up, shut up, and get in the fray. The very next round, what if it's Arc Burn? Well, lucky for you, let's say you have an Arc Messenger Trials of Osiris pulse rifle and you absolutely wreck kids that round. But the next round, it's no burn. Everyone goes back to Thorns and Hawkmoons. It would constantly be changing. I think this is a great way to introduce variety into the Crucible. There isn't going to be those players who just constantly use the same weapon. I don't want to just shit on Thorn, because the people using the Fellwinter's Lie and all these other guns that are arguably overpowered and they use those constantly, once you introduce burns into the mix, once you say, look, it's going to be solar burn this round, no matter how good you are with the Fellwinter. If you have an Arc Fellwinter, you're not going to be using that. You've got to switch up your gameplay. You've got to use different guns. Now, I don't want the entire Crucible to have burns, and I used Iron Banner as an example, but certainly that can be left alone. I think the best way to introduce burns, at first at least, is just through a playlist. Just like they have Salvage as a playlist, they would have PvP burns, or whatever it would be called, as a playlist. You would join this playlist and every round it would be a random burn, or again, it could randomly just be no burn. This would be a great playlist for players who maybe don't play that much PvP, but want to try out all of their hard-earned loot that they've earned through PvE events. A lot of those guns have burns to them. It's also going to be a true showcase of skill. A really talented PvP player is good with a variety of different guns. I hate to break it to you, but if you're only good with a Thorn, you're not that good. So in summary, what we have is this. Burns have been a great way to vary up PvE play. They should be utilized in PvP as well, but not exactly how they are in PvE. Instead of massively increasing damage, they should simply decrease the damage of non-burn weapons. This would massively increase the variance in the Crucible and allow Guardians to utilize a lot of their inventory that has just been sitting there. It would also be a great thing to add for skill-based events, as a good player must be good with a variety of different weapons. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, it's up to you to help me get Bungie's attention. Maybe we can actually get this idea implemented in the upcoming Taken King DLC. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe if you want to see content similar to this. And as always, have a good day.